Hello and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today's video is going to be a reverse canvas. So when I do my reverse canvases, I like to print out different pictures and sayings that I then, hang up around my house. So today's canvas is going to be something that I'm putting in my kitchen that's going to go above where all of my coffee and everything is. So to start out, we're going to be in Cricut Design Space. I've never used a silhouette cameo, but I'm sure that it's probably the exact same process if you use a silhouette instead of a Cricut. So for the Cricut, we're going to go to upload because it's a design that I got off the internet, actually from designbundles.com is where I get a lot of my images. So we're going to go into view all. And then because I have so many images, it takes a second for them to load. I can only imagine how bad it's going to be once I've actually got everything uploaded into my computer. Right now, I've probably got like 1/16 of all of the images I've got loaded into Cricut Design Space. So we're going to scroll all the way down here. Just a bunch of my Maggie Holmes stuff, different cute little designs. All right, and we're going to go all the way down here to where all my coffee stuff is. And we are doing this one right here. It says more coffee, please. So then we're going to go over here and insert image. And then I'm doing this on an 8x10 canvas. And so since it's a reverse canvas, the part of the canvas that shows is only 7 3/4 by 5 3/4. So we're going to take this image and we are going to reduce it to fit that dimension. So I'm going to go over here and go to 5.5 for my width, which will then change my height to 6.79, which is perfect because then it fits below the 7 3/4 that I need it. And then we're just going to go over here to make. And then I need to actually plug in my Cricut. My Cricut's not plugged in at the moment. So I have a 12x12 piece of material selected. My material, I actually cut it down to fit those dimensions so that I don't waste anything. We're going to hit continue. I need to turn my machine on. All right. As you can see, it's connected. My material is set to vinyl. And then we're going to hit print. Right, so we're going to open this up. We're going to take our Cricut mat. I tend to put everything on a standard grip mat. I think that they work best for me. Like I said before, I cut my vinyl down already, so this is just over, it's 6 by 7 1/4, and then I like to leave a tiny little gap on the corner of my grip mat when I lay down my material because of the way that Cricut cuts. Cricut automatically puts a small border along anything that you cut, so if you move your material down about 1/8 of an inch each way, then you're going to get the most use out of your material. So we're going to put this in. We're going to start. We have it on vinyl. As we can see here, there's a little dial. So you have custom, paper, vinyl, iron-on, light cardstock, bonded fabric, and poster board. Make sure I have mine set in the middle. You can actually turn it down one knob and then have like vinyl negative, or you can go here and have vinyl plus so that it's a little bit less pressure or a little bit more pressure. My machine works perfectly fine having dead center in vinyl. And then we're going to press the blinking Cricut light, and that's going to start the cutting of our project. And then once it's all finished, we're going to hit the blinking arrow right here, which will then release our mat. And then after we take it out of the machine, we're going to remove it from our Cricut mat. So you're going to want to slowly just peel it up on the sides so that you don't get too much roll in your vinyl. So we'll move that out of the way. And then if you can see, we have our design cut into our vinyl. All right, and then we're going to take our handy dandy weeding tool and we're going to slowly start pulling this up. So I personally like to start in the corner. If you can get down in here with your nails, awesome. I have acrylics, so I can't really dig into the corner here. But if you take your tool, you can get it right underneath that lip. Or, as I like to do, I fold it here, if you can see this, and then I get a little line where it peels apart, and then I stick my tool underneath there. And I stab the paper. So there we go. We're going to peel all that off. You see we have a small mess up right there. All right. Oh no, it's not a mess up. It's because the letters are supposed to pull out. That's right. All right. And then we're going to peel all of this off and do the same on every little piece. All right. And sometimes this can be really difficult, so I like to dig into the actual letter I'm peeling up, because who cares? You're not using that vinyl piece anyway. There we go. All right. So here is our design. Get this off my finger. All right. And then we are going to take this design and we're going to apply a piece of transfer tape over the top and burnish that on. So let me grab that. So I'm going to take a piece that's roughly the same size. And we will cut that. And then we are going to lay this directly on top. And we're going to rub. You could also probably pull out your bone folder and do the exact same thing, but I just rub my nails. And make sure that you've got that all stuck down so that when you go to peel up your transfer tape, you're going to peel up the entire design as well. All right, and so then let's go to our canvas. So here's the canvas that I'm using. I buy them in a big, huge pack of like 20. So some of them come wrapped and some of them don't. And then I like to grab my pliers. So you're going to want to pull all of these staples out so that you can get this frame here exposed. And that's how we call a reverse canvas, because then we're going to pull off the canvas. We're then going to stain this frame right here. And then we're going to apply it to the front of the canvas with the design here in the middle. And it'll be a beautiful design. So we'll be right back with the open canvas. So I have found that the best way for me to do this is with a pair of pliers and a screwdriver. You'll take the screwdriver, you're going to press it down a little bit so that you can pop it up underneath. the staple and take your pliers and pull the staple right out. So again, push down a little bit, pop underneath, pull your staple right out. Oops, but be very careful that you don't slide the screwdriver. I'm going to wind up chopping my finger off with a screwdriver, guys. Watch this. And then again, pull, 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 pull. Oh, see? This is what I'm saying. I'm going to kill myself. There's got to be a better way to do this. But this is what I've found works best for me at the moment. Oh, there we go. Alright. So get the last of these staples out. Oh yeah. And then we can unfold this. And here we have this frame. Oop. And now I personally don't mind these staples in here, but if you do, you can flip it over and you can have a flatter frame. It's going to have these little holes in it from where the staples were. So you have to make your mind up on that decision. I personally don't mind the staples. I think it's cute and it adds character. All right. And then we're going to take our frame, boop, so that it's centered like so. Again, make sure that our everything fits nicely. Oh, you guys, look at that. Oh, it's gonna be perfect. All right, now we're gonna take this and we're gonna go stain it. So let's go do that. Okay, so when you're staining something, you're going to want, of course, your stain. So I am using a Varathane red mahogany wood stain. A dauber brush. I like to use these sponge brushes. They're super cheap. You can buy them by like 20 packs. And then paper towels. You need your paper towels to wipe off your stain residue. Please don't mind how dirty my table is. I literally use this just to stain things, as we can tell by the amount of stain that is just kind of spread across the table. So we're going to pop the top on this. Make sure that you gave it a good shake before you actually open it. All right, and then I'm gonna stick our little dauber in. It's probably advisable to wear gloves. I did not grab gloves for this because it's a quick project. So we're going to run the stain all the way across the wood. Try to let it soak into all of the little crevices. And then I like to let my stain sit for a minute so it can really penetrate into the wood. Depending upon how light or dark you want your stain to be, determines upon basically how long you leave it sitting on your wood. So like I said, make sure you get all up in these crevices. And this is probably why you want to wear gloves, because you're going to have to touch it a lot. Alright. When we got that taken care of, we're then going to grab our paper towel and we're going to wipe it down. One of the nice things is that you can actually take the residue from your paper towel and you can wipe it across the rest. And so now we're going to do the edges. And then I'm going to do this top piece again because I would like it to be just a little bit darker. Alright, we're going to let that sit. Let the sun hit it a little bit. We're having the absolute most fantastic fall, you guys. I live probably 15-20 minutes outside of downtown Seattle, and this is not typical weather for what is today, November 19th. It has looked like this for like the past week, and it has been so fantastic. You guys, I am appreciating the heck out of this weather. All right, so now that we've let that sit for a little bit, again, we're gonna wipe it. Oh, and that's so much better. Okay. Make sure I have the inside all wiped down. Get my edges. See, I missed a little bit here, so we're going to take the paper towel and dab at it and get that in there. Oh my God, you guys, this looks fantastic. All right, so there is our stained wood frame. And then I'm going to let this rest for a good 20-30 minutes before I actually attach it to my canvas so that it can completely dry. So we'll leave that here in the sun. And then we're going to go back and we will attach the vinyl to the canvas. Alright, so now we're going to attach our picture to our canvas. So I personally like to measure and get the dead center of both my canvas and my image that I'm sitting on. So we're going to take our measuring tape, and you're going to want to go to the first fold and the first fold down here. So we're at a perfect 10 inches. So we will mark it, oops, right here at 5. And then we're going to go across, and we're going to mark it at 4, since there's an 8 right there. So we want this mark to be right here. So there is the dead center of our canvas. And then we're going to do the same thing with the image. So we have 6 3/4. So 3 and like 3/8. So right there at the F. And then we're going to go here to 5 1/2. So we want 2 3/4. Just like right there. So we're going down to here is the dead center. So we want that dot lined up with that dot there. Let's move that all out of the way and peel this back. Oh, my middle of my E did not stick. All right, let's try that one more time. Yep, there we go. All right, so we want this dot lined up with this circle, so we're going to go right about there and then straighten it out. All right, that looks pretty square to me. We can measure it from the bottom and make sure both sides are just right. We're going to turn this just ever so slightly. There we go. And then we have our design. And so now we're gonna brandish this onto the canvas. So I like to take my Cricut scraper. You could take a credit card, you could take your bone folder, you could really use whatever you wanted. And we're gonna scrape it all the way and make sure that it sticks. we're going to peel up our transfer tape. Slowly but surely. Because of course, not only are you brandishing the vinyl to the canvas, but you're brandishing the tape to the vinyl. So we're going to have to straighten that out a little bit. There we go. Little issue there. And in any place that you're peeling and there's an issue, you just scrape it down. And slowly peel everything up. All right, and there is our vinyl then transferred over to our reverse canvas. All right, and then last but not least, once my frame is dry, I will spray my frame down with a clear coat and I will attach it to the top of this canvas. All right, and then once our frame here is done, we are going to take our piece of canvas and we are going to cut it down to size. So our frame is 8 by 10. So the best way to do that is just basically cut along this first line here because that was the outside of our frame. So we're going to go up and cut along that line. And then turn and go right along this line. All right, now we just have our piece on canvas. We're going to take our frame, flip it over, and we are going to center our piece. So we want to make sure it fits right into everything perfectly the way we want it. So if there's anything that's kind of left over, that's where I then take my pencil. Let's draw a line there. Draw a little line there. All right. So now we're going to take this and we're going to cut kind of right down this line. And then remove just a little bit off the bottom of this one. Perfect. All right, so then once we have that centered how we want it, we are going to take our handy dandy staple gun and we're going to staple this bad boy back in. Helps if you're holding it the right way. If one doesn't work perfect, we pop that bad boy out and we do it again. All right, and after all of our staples are in, bam, we have a beautiful reversed canvas. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what you thought. If you'd like to see more tutorials about different things that I create, let me know. You can also put ideas down and I'll try them. So until next time, have a great rest of your day, and bye-bye.